All right, so now we're going to do our Rookie of the Year. So, Davis, what is your prediction for Rookie of the Year in this upcoming season?
All right. So I know a lot of people are talking 1 through 3, a little chalk situation happening here. Anthony Edwards, Wiseman, or LaMelo Ball. None of those guys are in my conversation. Not a single one. For me, it comes down to two different players: Obi Toppin for the New York Knicks and Killian Hayes for the Detroit
Oh,
Pistons.
no.
Here's why. So we obviously know, the situation matters in terms of these young prospects getting early on minutes, and being able to develop their craft and get more of that scoring load, that truly impacts being rookie of the year conversation. And so we saw that last season with John Morant. We've seen it with Luka in the past as well. And those weren't great teams whenever those players were walking into them. That's why these top prospects that were on lottery teams ended up winning the award, because they are standouts, because they had an increased role. And I think those are both things that bode very well for Obi Toppin and Killian Hayes. So my pick is going to be Killian Hayes over Obi Toppin, because I think he's going to be having a higher workload than Obi Toppin. I think Obi Toppin is someone that's going to be coming off the bench for the first half of the season. And Killian Hayes, I know he's struggled a little bit during the preseason, but he's also shown some very good flashes at moments as well during the preseason. And I don't want to be overreacting to the preseason, so that's kind of irrelevant. Um,
I'm here for
he's a
all the
guy that's going to be
overreactions.
He's going to be scoring a lot. The Pistons are a team that are
Is
going to be
bad.
vying for the Cade Cunningham sweepstakes from day one. They might be the favorites. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they need to be developing and putting as much resources into their young talent as possible to see, can this person become a budding star in this league? And so they're going to be giving Killian Hayes the keys to the city. And I think, you know, he's a raw prospect at the moment, but I've also seen enough of these little flashes here and there. And I think the mentorship from Derrick Rose really helps a lot. And at the end of the season, if he's averaging 18, 19 points, I don't think that's really unrealistic. I could see that being a possible scenario. And I think if he's doing that, he's winning Rookie of the Year, no question.
Yeah, so
I'm not
I
talking
think
about,
I'm
oh, don't even
I'm a
say
little
it.
bit higher on Obi Toppin than I would be on Killian Hayes, and that's what we talked about in our boomer bust sort of discussions with these players, these rookies. I've had Killian Hayes as a potential bust. I've never been super high on the kid. I agree. Like preseason's not necessarily a time to like overreact one way or the other, but I mean he's been, in my opinion, pretty unimpressing. I understand like he's a rookie, these are first few games. I expect him to have struggles and that sort of thing, but he just has been very unimpressive to me. He'll have all the opportunity in the world out there to sort of put up a good stat line. I just don't believe in the kid. I know that's really bad to say, but I just don't think he has what it takes. But my rookie of the year is LaMelo Ball, and for a couple of reasons. So first, without a doubt, and what we've seen so far in the preseason,
We're not talking preseason the rest of this podcast. This is
yes, we
absolutely
are.
atrocious. We can't use
But
this as a
it's our first look at him. All and again, he's had games where he's been fantastic, and he's had, for example, the last game of the preseason where he went like 1 for 10 from the field. So again, he's gonna have his struggles. He's not gonna be the most efficient player in the world, but LaMelo Ball has the best vision by far in the draft. I mean, he has been, some of the passes he's been doing, like they've been absolutely incredible. And so I think in terms of assists, he's going to lead all rookies in assists easily. Um, my major concern with him, which was the same concern I had for him coming into the draft, is scoring efficiency. Same issue his brother had. And I'm just very, very concerned that he's not going to be able to consistently put the ball in the hoop. He takes a lot of bad shots. We've already seen that in the preseason. Um, so I do think there are concerns for him. However, I just think in terms of sort of his star power, his flashiness, his moxie, if you will, I think a lot of the voters are going to give this kid some votes because he's going to be on the highlight reel most nights he plays. Very similar to Zion in that sense, but I mean, he doesn't have the health concerns. So he's going to be on that front page all the time. I think for him to win the award, he doesn't have to be the highest like points per game averager amongst rookies, but he needs to be in that 14, 15 range. If he can get around there and he puts up his 6 assists a game I expect him to do, I think he takes home Rookie of the Year honors, assuming someone else doesn't just absolutely blow up. But that would be my pick.
Fair. And if we are overreacting to preseason, let's talk about Isaac Okoro for Rookie of the Year. He's been looking pretty
Not a
good.
bad pick, honestly. I mean, his biggest concerns were offensively. Everyone knew about the defense, but offensively, he's been nice with it. At a game winner, he's been nice with it.
Absolutely. All right.
Do you have any sort of dark horses or runner-up candidates that you want to talk about?
I don't know how much of a dark horse it is to say Tyrese Halliburton, just because he slipped and he was higher in a lot of the mock drafts. So I'm not going to use that. That's a little bit of a crutch. But for a dark horse candidate, I'll go.
I've got a good dark horse candidate in mind.
I bet you're going to say Malachi Flynn because of the preseason.
No. He's not going to play enough.
Dark horse candidate, and this is only dark horse because of the situation, Patrick Williams. So
that is a dark horse.
I know he was drafted 4 overall. Very dark horse, right?
That is bold.
But no one really has expected anything from him, right? So I think as a rookie, that's almost
a game. People are going to give it to him. Yeah.
No, but I think a lot of these top draft prospects have a big burden to be, a generational talent, someone that's revolutionizing basketball on their team and is kind of the person that everyone in their city looks to as like their savior for their basketball team. Patrick Williams is not going to be that guy. He just won't, because, they have Zach LaVine. People are probably more high on Kobe White and Lauri Markkanen than they are on Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams is going to be having a very productive role. He's going to be getting minutes. And he's been decent so far in terms of being able to create his own shot and kind of integrate himself into this offense. And I think Bill Donovan is, we've raved about him in the past, but in terms of a dark horse candidate, I don't think it's it's not beyond the realm of possibility that we could be talking about how Patrick Williams, he came out of nowhere and got 15 points a game and has been one of the better defensive rookies. So why not?
So my sort of dark horse candidate is someone that I talked about when we were talking about these rookies with the draft. He was someone that I said that there's actually, I had him as my dark horse candidate then, and he's my dark horse candidate now. And that is, wow, why am I blanking on his name? I'm about to pull up our draft thing. Wow.
Volkovetsky?
I literally have his name in my mind. Hold on.
Cole Anthony, Devin Vassell.
Yep, Cole Anthony. Thank you very much. I wanted to say Carmelo Anthony. I was like, wait, that's not his name. Cole Anthony. Again, you know what? I'm not going to say that anymore. I am overreacting to preseason. The dude was nice in the preseason. He is nice with it. And I said, we've talked about this before, in the fact that, he had the injury at North Carolina, and that team was just not a good team overall. And that was a big reason why probably his draft stock sort of fell, and he was that late lottery pick. He is going to be a very good NBA player. And I think out in Orlando, when they realize that he's better than Markelle Fultz and they start him throughout the season, that dude's going to put up some numbers. He is going to put up some serious numbers. I think
What type of numbers? 1, 2, 3. What type of numbers are we talking? Just numbers.
Maybe
he's going to put up numbers.
I don't know. He's going to if he can get into a starting role, or at least good minutes off the bench, I think he can quite possibly average 16, 17 points a game.
So while we're talking about underwhelming blue blood franchises from last season's college basketball, let's talk about this season's most underwhelming team ever. And see, let's talk about if there's anyone on that team that we think could be in a similar situation where their draft stock falls
Are we
and
going to
they
talk
surprise
amongst the
people in the
Blue
NBA.
Bloods?
So amongst the Blue Bloods, the Kentucky Wildcats have started
BJ
1-5
Boston.
for the first time since 1927. Talk about a historically horrible season for the Kentucky Wildcats. And I'm sorry that my Kansas Jayhawks had to be one of those teams, slapping it down on them a little bit. But, do we think BJ Boston could, be in this conversation next year where his draft stock falls because, their team didn't have a lot of success and people just kind of forget how good he was and where his draft talent is. I know there's another player on Kentucky that had pretty high. I think they had the
Isaiah
highest.
Jackson.
That might be who I'm thinking of.
He's
Yeah.
a freshman. So, okay, I have watched several Kentucky games, and and let me just say this. I've looked at a lot of mock drafts, and a lot of people have BJ Boston. I would say almost everyone I've seen has had BJ Boston go in the lottery. A lot of them have had him as like a top 5 potential pick, because he's a 6'7", 6'8", guard-like skills. I mean, he's supposed to have this like complete scoring package. And what I have seen so far in college basketball has been anything but. See, the difference between like him and Cole Anthony for me is Cole Anthony not only had an injury, that North Carolina team was just bad in general, and the Kentucky team's not good also, but
Yeah.
I feel like Cole Anthony didn't have necessarily the opportunity to showcase his game as well in North Carolina, whereas in Kentucky, BJ Boston is supposed to be their number one guy. Kentucky's biggest issue this season has been offensively. They can't score. They can't shoot the three. They've been horrific efficiently wise. And BJ Boston's supposed to be this guy they can just hand him the ball and say, hey, we need you to go get us a bucket. And he has not had, and again, it is very early, but I have not seen a single, I've watched most of their games. There hasn't been a single game where I've said, wow, this dude should get drafted in the lottery. Not one. Like, I have been so concerned up to this point. Like, I actually think there's a chance like he might stay for a year. Like it's I've been that concerned about how he plays. He's crazy inefficient. These dribble moves and step back and difficult shots he's supposed to be amazing at, one of his best skills. I haven't seen him make one. He's been a horrific 3-point shooter.
17%.
Yeah, I have been extremely concerned in his play. And I don't know if that's something that's going to like it's just sort of a college thing. Like even people that like don't fit well in those types of systems and stuff still show like something, but he hasn't been like defensively amazing. Like he just hasn't shown me something that I go, wow, like that kid deserves to get picked. And there's so many other players that I've watched so far that I think are way more deserving of top 5 and lottery picks outside of him. So I don't think he's someone that's going to be in a Cole Anthony sort of situation, but who knows? He turns it around halfway through the season, but I've been very, very unimpressed so far.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's actually wild the level of history that we are witnessing with how atrocious this Kentucky Wildcats team is. And, with
North
that
Carolina hasn't been good, and others
UNC
did.
tie-in,
Yeah.
exactly. It was just natural. So with that, we're going to conclude our Rookie of the Year segment.